New Year to everyone out there. This is your boy Gotham City Arcade GCA back at you with another one. We're basically in the news 2024. We're seeing all these new news coming up. Shout out to everybody in the community that made their New Year's video. Uh, it's been interesting. I'm not gonna lie, and if you're not look at the title, I'm feeling a little disappointed right now, but we're gonna look at the chat. Hopefully, people will pop up to the stream. If you're in the stream, please post a question or say what's up. Whatever you want to do. Shout out to my boy Mandy out there that's working right now in Walmart. He's out there chilling. Shout out to my family that's basically been checking me out. And I want to thank all the new subscribers that's basically popped up on my channel over the last couple of weeks. Thank you for all the subs, trying to get to 500, hell of an accomplishment for this channel. So without further ado, let's get into the show. My topic is very simple right now, is why am I disappointed this year so far at the beginning? There's a lot of reasons, but I'm only going to kick maybe one for right now. And I'm going to explain why I'm so disinterested as of yet, why I'm not interested in the stuff that's going on for 2024. And if this continues on for 2024, I am going to basically bail out of the home arcade community. I'm just going to check out and just call it for what it is and find some new content to talk about. So let's start with Arcade 1-Up. Arcade 1-Up has been around for the last 5 years. I want to say happy anniversary to them. The majority of the community hopped in at 2018, and we've been riding this wave of other companies hopping on, At Games, Unico, even iArcade, which is no longer with us. But the scene that two companies has made that jump with At Games with their 4K systems and Unico with their new candy calves. Where's Arcade 1-Up right now? Arcade 1-Up is a no-show. They're not been nowhere to be found. They didn't even show up to CES this year. I mean, like with no new information, they didn't even say anything about why they didn't show up. It took something from, shout out to Mike B, that someone told him for him to tell the community that they wasn't going to show up. Why not put out a press release and say why we're not showing up for CES? Oh, we don't have new calves. We don't think our stuff is ready. Something just to get, at least put something out there, a little press release. Cyrus, he's the man in charge. Why not come on, pop on the 1-Up Weekly or the 1-Up show and basically just say, well, we're not going to show up this year because such and such and such. But it doesn't make any sense for not to be said anything of the fact that we're not showing up. And I think that shows that over the past year with all the rehashes for 2023, that there are some problems going on. Yes, we know that the president resigned or got terminated. We don't know. We know John has resigned or got terminated. We don't know. No one is saying anything. We know there's new people in charge, but nothing has been really said indefinitely. Like, what is the new direction of Arcade 1-Up? And my thing is, if there's no direction, how we know what's going on with the company? So I'm trying to understand it from a consumer standpoint. Like, is year 5 the very end? Is Fast and Furious and Time Crisis the last 2 cabinets that's going to be produced by Arcade 1-Up as far as new titles? Or is Arcade 1-Up going to have rehashes and stick with what sells? The Street Fighters, the Mortal Kombats, the Pac-Mans. If this is the direction of the company, why not say something? To not say anything, why CES is not happening. I truly understand if you got no new product, you don't want to spend the extra money, you don't want to do the booths or anything. I'm perfectly fine with that. But you got to say something to not say anything and leave the community with a big question mark on their face, it's not. It says, what's the point? So moving on to my next thought in this. So they put out a shout out to I forgot who put this video out that basically came out a couple days ago that Arcade One Up had a great fourth quarter. If his name pops up, I will definitely let you know that they had a great fourth quarter. They had up to like $50 million in total stock, and they got all the way down to $17 million over that quarter. They sold the majority of their inventory. However, they didn't sell it at the actual price. They had to sell it at a reduced price. Now, I don't know if that affects Arcade One Up going forward. You know, as far as like all these companies paid, like all these retailers sold it, bought this inventory at a certain price, and then basically had to reduce it. You know, Arcade One Up got paid for the stock, and then the retailers had to basically make that money up and basically sell it at a price where they can make a profit. If Arcade One Up made a profit, did this affect the retailers going forward from buying new stock for 2024? That's the question. But I'm not going to go all in depth in the article because there's been a number of channels that's basically elaborate more in depth. And it seemed like Arcade One Up done enough for this quarter, but it doesn't say for the entire year. It just says for the fourth quarter. So I assume it was like from fall all the way into like from like September 1st to December 31st of 2023. So I'm proud that they made money, and I'm not saying that, but I don't see like where's Cyrus in all this? Cyrus is not saying anything as far as, okay, we made money, we're gonna bring out new stuff, we thank the community for supporting us. What's going on, Super Fat Hobbit? Here's some support. I appreciate you coming out. My support for fellow community member. I give One Up a benefit of the doubt. April is the deadline. If nothing comes out or hear anything from them, the curtains for them. I agree. I definitely agree with that, Super Fat Hobbit. You know, on a lot of levels, I'm kind of feeling some kind of way that we're not hearing anything from Cyrus right now. Cyrus has been really quiet. And even though the news article is out, which I left the link in the bio, if you want to go and take a look and want to take an in-depth look of the article, I'm not going to go into it, but if you want to go and check it out, I left the link in the tab. So this is where I'm at. Like, I'm glad they made money, but we got to hear from the retailers that they make money off of this product too. So we're going to see in the long run where this goes as the months progress. And Super Fat Hobbit has said it best. He's giving it to April as well. So we're going to see. So another thing, where's the roadmap at? This is my biggest thing. Like, if you look at the slide right now, and we knew we was getting next for 2023. We was getting Wheel of Fortune. We got Pac-Man Deluxe and XL. We got a Mortal Kombat Deluxe. We got the new Street Fighter, Dynamo Cab. So, and then we got Fast and Furious and Time Crisis. I'm not saying it was a bad year. It was just a boring year. It was nothing that moved the needle. I'm happy for everybody that was able to hop in the community and got the new setup. Like most of us OGs, the whales that bought before the pandemic, in the pandemic, we already had the majority of these titles already. We probably had like maybe 2 or 3 more Mortal Kombats, maybe 3 or 4 Street Fighters, maybe 3 to 4 Miss or Mr. Pac-Mans in our collection. So for me personally, I have the majority of these cabinets. I didn't buy the Wheel of Fortune. I didn't find that to be a purchase for me because I know in some people's game rooms, they actually have slot machines. I go to the casino every once in a while, but it don't really have no nostalgia for me to add a Wheel of Fortune. So at least there was some kind of roadmap to what was coming, And then we look, shout out to Bill's Retro Show. He dropped a gem, a golden nugget, an Easter egg last year that this mystery arcade roadmap, and we got all these great titles. It kind of got the community talking. We're assuming this is what's coming, and then we don't get no kind of feedback from Arcade One Up or Cyrus saying that this list is either real, fictional, is delusional. Let's look at the next Super Fat Hobbit's comment. I think that 2024 Coffee Stain is what John D distributors to his YouTube before he left when the company went another direction. This is what's left behind as it's deciding to walk away. I mean, if that was the case, Super Fat Hobbit, why not come? Like, why Cyrus didn't just come and like, okay, this is what we were talking about. But since all the powers that be has moved on, this list is no longer accurate. Come on someone's show. You have the One Up show. You got Michael B. You got Corner K. Shout out to Corner K. You have a lot of people in the community that you could have hopped on this show and basically talked about the list, maybe 5-6 minutes, say this list is not real. We're thinking about it or we're not. This is not something that is real anymore, because I'm not going to lie, there are a lot of cabs I would love to purchase from this list. And I believe everybody in the community felt the same way. Like Smash TV Robotron, that's like number one on everybody's list right now. And Michael B would be all over it if this cab ever came out. And it's in a deluxe. The Carbonner collection, I feel without Shredder's Revenge would have been a great cab with it. But without it, could you see yourself going back and like taking the old, like a lot of us still got the OG TMNT cabinet? Could you really see yourself with different artwork that doesn't match the original scheme just with online? And even though it has more games in it, do you want to change it out at this point? Because Cyrus knows what the plan is for 2024, and there's nothing like this. He would be embarrassed. I'd rather be embarrassed, at least put it out there, than say nothing, Super Fat Hobby. I mean, come on, not say nothing. You're basically leaving your customer base delusional. And this Kanye West crap that's running around. Shout out to 19K Fox with his last Sunday's show talking about Kanye, made some reference, and now he's losing customers because of that. You got to say something. You can't just sit there and say nothing to the community and assume that this is going to fly just by saying nothing. You've been doing this all year long, not really saying much. I understand that you're kind of robotic, you know what I'm saying? But you got to be a real person and please speak to the community, because this, even though we're the 10% of the millions that you sold, we're the community that promotes your product the hardest amongst the population. It's not your commercials with Mike Tyson, the with all these celebrities, Dion and all of them. It's not them. It is us, the people that really was with you from day one when you had the first waves, and we knew half of those all of those wave ones were total trash. We support it. We want to hear directly from the person that's running this company right now what's going on. Even like track and field. Track and field has been around since wave 3, before the pandemic, in the pandemic, nothing. All we saw the stupid stool. Everybody would love to upgrade their Star Wars and XL. I know me personally, I love my OG, but I know a lot of people love that cab and the XL. The AVP Big Blue, we saw renders of it, and we didn't see nothing from Cyrus saying that is it true or is it not. And then we're seeing little nuggets, little renders come out, but nothing. Then we're looking at the Street Fighter Alpha Legacy cabinet. We don't know if the chipset, do they have a chipset to run that cab? Because they're saying that the cab can run it based on the mods a lot of people has done, but we haven't heard anything about the new Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter Alpha Legacy cab. the MVC2 XL, I think they might want to not. I think they might want to scrap that because I feel like the MVC2 didn't really sell well, and being at the online lineup wasn't completely set when it was delivered. I think that left a bad taste in the mouth. So I would kind of put that off. The SNK Big Red XL, I think they need to do a deluxe version before they even drop the SNK Big Red. I think they need to drop a deluxe version, see what games come, see what kind of lineup it comes with it, because you're competing with Unico's Big Red because it has 50 games to it. So if you don't have the games that is different from the one that most of us got in our background, especially for me, I'm not going to purchase something just because it has SNK on it. It has to have a great games list on it. And I mean, totally different from the one that we all have in our rooms right now. The off-road 3-player XL, I think that'll be an awesome cab. But if I was in a room, I think we need to make that control panel like the quad play for the ad games. It needs to be just as big so everybody has space around it. The Lethal Enforcers would be a great cab. I think that'll do really well. The Batman Royale, I think that'll be the sleeper cab. I think that'll be the sleeper cab for everybody going forward. And 720, I don't know what the real fan base is for that. You know I have it on my CoinOps. I played it, but I have never played it in person, so I can't really say for sure why that cab would not do well. But I know it has a fan base, but I would have to see like renders of it and how it would look going forward. So I think that'll be the biggest thing. But when we look at this mystery games list, are we getting these games or not? Come out, Cyrus. You see the game list popped up there. It's been out since last year. Come out, say something. We're not hearing anything. No communication from you, sir. You can't be that so much on your chair that you're that busy. You can take a couple minutes out your day and address this. I would love to hear what you have to say, because it doesn't make any sense to me why Arcade1 is so quiet right now, because people are wondering, what is your direction of your company? What games are coming out? What is your roadmap looking like? What is going to be like for y'all for the next 2 years going forward? Like, what is the vision for the company? Because apparently the people that were controlling that vision is no longer there. So it has to be something that has to change in the company. Because anytime you have a change in leadership, a change in management, a change in ownership, there's got to be a new direction you're going in. We haven't heard any of this. What if the retailers aren't buying anything until they move the old stock, which is why everything is on sale now? This screams a freeze on Arcade1 products. Once they remove the 20, 30,000 cabins, we may get something. Okay, let's go to PD7 when he went to the and saw all that back inventory. I would say you agree, but I used to work in Walmart, and I remember we used to have inventory too, like Kmart, Walmart, all these retailers, and they will find ways of getting rid of the inventory. But when I talk to like the district or area managers, when they have people go out there and purchase things, it has to make sense to them to continue to purchase these items to keep people coming into their store, or right now their online store. Now, if people are buying these cabinets, which they have shown, like most of the community has shown videos on how Amazon is moving product, certain cabs are moving. I think they'll continue to buy it if it makes sense for them to make money off the product, because it's like anything stupid for Abby. If I give you a product and I'm selling the product to you, let's say I sold you a pair of sneakers. I sold you a pair of Adidas. I bought it. I had it made. It was made for $40. I sold it to you for $80. You turn around and sold those same sneakers for $160 and could never move them. But you had to keep reducing your price all the way back to $80. My thing is, would you come back to me and buy another set, knowing it took you so long to get rid of that one pair of sneakers? You might say, well, I didn't have a lot of inventory to go with. Maybe people wasn't interested. Okay, I might have sold you 4 more different pairs and 4 different schemes of colors. I sold you the same price. I might have sold it to the same price or probably did a wholesale price and reduced it by a couple of dollars, and you have problems moving the majority of inventory. That would be, I would say, once you sold it, I might call you like, are you interested in getting some more stuff? And you're like, well, there's not a market for it because people are not buying it for the retail price. They want it for the sales price. And they feel that the product is not worth the retail price. They want it for the sales price. And you being the retailer, you're not making money off of it. You're making pennies off of it. So it would really be up to you at that moment. Even if you did sell up the inventory, would you go back and buy more, knowing it was so hard for you to get rid of your inventory at the retail price, which the community said that the product is not worth that amount of money? So my thing is, if that's the case, we have a dilemma, which has been going on since after the pandemic, which people are not buying these calves at $600, $700, $800. Like, they still got massive amount of pinball out there for almost $800, $900, which those calves should have been reduced to $300, $400 and been moved out of there by now. For the prices to be that high, it makes no sense at all to continue to market this product at $600, $700, $800 when these calves only worth $300, $400, $500, $600. My thing is the XL line should be your most expensive calf at $599. Your deluxe should be $499. If you want to have the peasant version at $399, and if you have a special tier calf, like let's say you want to bring out 720, you need to sell that directly from your site and have a certain amount of those calves, not a whole batch, maybe 3,000. Say I want to sell 3,000 calves if you say you want to sell it at $699, you call in, the first 100 will go, I'll give you a $100 rebate. You sell it, those first 100 will be $599, and the rest of them go. That should be it. You should only put out calves that is guaranteed to sell at your retailers, like the Mortal Kombats, the Batmans, and Street Fighters. Anything beyond that shouldn't even go to them. It shouldn't go. Everything like those special tier calves, like Fast and Furious, Time Crisis, they should be held in your warehouses, and you should have a control over how many you should make of those. That's why Arcade One is not making. That's why they're not making moves, because they're not controlling the narrative. They got the narrative being controlled by everybody else. So right now, I feel that even if they did move it, I don't know the retailers is going to buy it because they've been sitting on inventory use. I still see Burger Time cabinets out here. I still see original Golden Tea cabinets out here in the wild on pallets in a lot of retailers, and they're not moving them. They're still selling. They're still at $499. We're already in wave 6, and we're still seeing calves from wave 2 and wave 3 still in the mix. They even still got a bunch of X-Men cabinets they should have been rid of because it's not selling at the $699, the $6 or $599 price point. It should have been at $299, $399, been moved out of the store. And we're having a lot of problems with this going forward. So, but good question, Stupid Fat Hobbit. I mean, hopefully I explained it well enough where you kind of got my point. And the man of the hour, where's Cyrus at? Where's he at? He's a ghost. I know he's popping up. You know, he'll pop up on Corner Case Show. You know, I'm happy for Corner Case success. There's no shot at him. This is my direct point at Cyrus. All right, let's see what Super Fat Hobby have to say. What are your thoughts on this? Warner makes 4 new exclusive games, and let's say they're off the list. Target only gets AVP, Best Buy gets Smash TV, Walmart gets TNF, and Costco gets Off-Road. Would that market work? Yeah, I think it would, but I think it would work. But I think that the fact is, like, each retailer is taking a chance on a title that is not like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Pac-Man. So to me, I think they're taking a lot of risk. And depending on how much inventory they bought, how do we know they're going to be able to move all of those right away? Because with no demo calves going out to the community, and I think that's the first thing, we need to see demo calves go out to the community so we got to see what the calf really looks like. If you let's say they pop up with all these calves out there, the end of the month, those four calves went out there, and no one got demo calves, and then all of a sudden we get a hit that these calves are now available with no information on the calf. We don't know how they look. We don't know how they play. We don't know if they're online ready or anything. I know Smash TV from Best Buy will probably do the best. AVP, depending on the lineup, I think the lineup is the issue. As far as off-road from Costco, I think that might have limited a lot of people. I know I would want it, but I have two Costco's here. I have Sam's Club. Like, why not put it in Sam's Club as well as Costco? So that way it can at least you can move a lot of the bulk out of there. To have me go and sign up at Costco's just to get that one cab wouldn't make any sense to me. Let me see what else you got to say. So they are competing with themselves for the same product instead of treating it like retailers did with the home arcade game. I want to make sure I understand you. They're competing with themselves with the same product instead of treating it like the retailers did with the home console game. It's not you when you look at Sega and Nintendo, when you're competing with two systems, you had them both in the same place. And they both basically they're competing for the sale of one person. But you're separating four titles from the same company and four retailers. I don't see the competition in that. Even though you have four different companies that basically own the marquee games, I don't feel that all the cash should be in all four stores. I think a certain amount of inventory should go out. I think this is my thing. If I was running Arcade One, I'm just saying hypothetically, I would only put out 3,000 calves in each title and then split it amongst the four. And my thing is, and what sells, it sells. I feel like 1,000. I think about 1,500 will go for each one. 1,500 of each title will disappear. So you're still sitting on 1,500 in the store, and you're talking about April. So I say March. If you drop everything next month, you don't really have any sales until Father's Day, because usually that's their first sale. Father's Day is usually their first sale, and then Black Friday, and then Christmas. So you're hoping to move all these cabinets out of there, the 3,000, but now you have 1,500 left. I think it's doable. But if you ask for 10,000 cabs and split it 2,500 a piece to everybody, and everybody's not able to move it, this is the crap that we went through with the X-Men, the Simpsons, the NFL Blitz, the Dragon Lair, the Tron, X-Men. People are sitting on these cabs, especially the 4-player cabinets, which everybody is complaining that they don't have room for. And then the fact is people have to sell their previous cabs that they don't have room because everybody's probably packed at this point to basically move these cabs into place. So let's go back. Let's go back one. Let's go with off-road. Off-road XL is a big cab. You're talking about now is a 4-player cab, a 4-player panel with 3 players, and now it's an XL. So now it's wider. So now you add it on it. So now you have to move 2 cabs out of there to get that one in there. And I don't think everybody's. I think if you have a nostalgia for it, I think it will be great. Let's say for Smash TV is a deluxe. I think that'll be their best cab. AVP, that control panel again. You have to move 2 cabs out to get the one in there. If you're talking about track and field, that depends on your nostalgia for that cab. And then being a deluxe, you gotta hope that those buttons are game ready. If they're not game ready, I think that cab will be the worst cab in the line. I think that'll be the first one to go on sale. That'll be on a fire sale. I think the best cab they have out of the 3 will probably be the Smash TV cabinet. That'll probably be their winning cab. I think the other 2, you got to have space for them. And I think that's going to be the logic behind that thought process. Am I willing to pay $6.99 or $7.99 for this cab to bring it in my house and the games list for off-road If you got super sprint, you got super off-road, you got off-road on there, I think that'll be a winning cab. And as long as you can have online capability so you can race other cabs, I think that cab will do really well. For track and field, it's really like a two-player cab, but it's a one player control panel. So long as it has online leaderboards to it, and you can have online play, I think that cab will do really, really well. Back when pre-order bonus for games would be the retailers exclusive. I think the bonus, like, I think a lot, like, I'm gonna tell you my story. When I bought the Big Blue Street Fighter, I paid $7 and some change for it. And then to find out that cab was reduced 6-7 months later to almost $399, I felt like I got burnt by that cabinet. I felt some kind of way. And then the Red Cross to buy that cab at $220.24, I bought another Big Blue. So I'm looking at what would be the advantage of buying a cab early when the cab is going to be reduced a couple months later. This is where the community is at right now as far as buying cabinets right now. They don't see the reason of buying first. It's no purpose. Unless you want to put out content and you're a YouTuber, there's no point to it. You know, you want to be first out the gate to get these cabs. But you have to understand, you have to be willing to spend money for these cabs going forward. And I think that's the biggest thing that everyone is noticing. Like, why should I pay $699, $799 for a cab when not a lot of people are willing to buy it because of space, and it doesn't have a lot of nostalgia to it? So to me, it wouldn't make any sense to buy early. I would wait. They used to make track and field arcade with the rolling ball too. I agree, one-up buttons wouldn't last, but the trap ball would. Well, you got to think about it. A lot of people play track and field on a Nintendo, so that A/B button has to work to basically switch up. There's no, like, I ain't never played it with a trap ball, so it would be weird to like be spinning, but then you're not tapping. So I don't know. I think it would be really weird. And I know Nintendo holds the title. So are we gonna see something come from all this? Like, I don't know. It's really weird that track and field even popped up on this so-called games list. I think it should have been scrapped a long time ago, personally. As far as, we can't do it because Nintendo holds the rights. We can't do it because the buttons, we're still got the old buttons, and we haven't ran out of those. And that was another thing. Like they said they had bought new buttons and new controls, new joysticks, but they never said when they were going to start using this stuff. So I'm trying to understand where Arcade One-Up is going with all this, and that goes back to my main man, Cyrus. The trap ball was used to run only the button for jumping and throwing. We're still on the track and field is a Konami cab, not Nintendo. Do Konami still own is because remember, track and field only popped up on Nintendo. So you gotta look at where the game has, like, do Nintendo still has rights to those games? Super Fire Hobbit. Do Nintendo still has rights? That's the question. If they still have rights, that cab is not gonna show nowhere, no how, and no cabinet. Because if Nintendo still has some rights to it, they're still, because my thing is you gotta look at it as a rehash game on future systems. And they're not gonna sell the arcade, they're not gonna sell the rights to Arcade One-Up, knowing that if Nintendo is still rehashing this, because I'm not going to sell a title to Arcade One-Up, but I'm still making money with Nintendo. It wouldn't make any sense to me. So my question to you, Stupid Fat Hobby, can you find out, do Nintendo still has rights to that game? Because if they do, I don't see it. That game is never going to be played. That game will never be produced. I think that Arcade One-Up has did a typhoon. They need to do a press release, saying that we can't get it. Nintendo still holds certain rights to this game, and we cannot get possession of it. But where's Cyrus in all this? Where's Cyrus? I don't see Cyrus to be nowhere, no how involved in all this craziness. And my thing is, like, if Arcade One Up was doing really, really well, and we're basically looking at a new year, we're gonna have basically promote some new cast. We're not putting out a roadmap, but we're gonna come on either the 1 or 2 shows, and we're gonna promote 2 new cabs for the quarter. I think that'll at least say something is gone well, but not saying anything to the community and being very quiet about everything is a problem to me. I think a lot of people thinking that Arcade One Up, a lot of podcasters, a lot of YouTubers are saying Arcade One Up is done right now. They're not saying anything. I have hope. I do. I mean, I got in this community because I have made a lot of great friends like you, Stupid Fat Hobbit, PD7, Corner K, P Does, Mike 19K Fox, SWAT 919, One Up Underground. I met a lot of cool people in this market. But I'll get back to my point with that. Track and Field is a developer that is licensed to Nintendo for the home console like Contra, Double Dragon, Blades of Steel back in the day, but Nintendo cannot blot One Up from doing business with Konami. I'm not saying that, but you have to look like this is a money thing. This is business. My thing is, if I'm making more money with Nintendo, why am I going to make the little bit of money with One Up? Like, there's no guarantee like that. Like, if you not notice over the last 5 years with the Konami, with Konami, we haven't got a lot of titles from them. All the titles has been going directly to Nintendo, PS1, Xbox. I'm just saying, I go where the money's taking me. It's business. It's not a personal thing. But if they still doing business with them, Nintendo might come in the room like, yo, I don't want you to do business with them, or we're gonna cut ties with you. And maybe other distributors might feel the same way, like Sony and Microsoft. I'm not going to do business with y'all, but on a limited. That might mess up money for them. I'm gonna go where the money is basically. I know Konami is a developer. I'm tracking that, but you got to understand, all the developers have to make money off the console. Their money is based on the amount of games they put out per console. And Nintendo has the biggest fan base. They have the biggest one outside. I mean, right next to, like, they're bigger than Xbox and PS. Even though everybody play those, like the adults play those last 2 systems, but the kids are Nintendo users. They have to go where the money is at. When we look at our market and our cabinets being sold, they're sold from 35 to 60. Where only a lot of the older people, not a lot of the younger kids are playing these cabs unless they're bought by parents and kids are playing it. Kids are not requesting these cabinets. Adults are. And the kids are the market. And you have to look at the market, what sells to a market. When you put out a Mario Brothers game on Nintendo, it sells out immediately because there's a market. When we put out Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Pac-Man, they don't sell out in the massive of almost 500,000. They sell out maybe five or 600 or 1,000. That's not a big enough market to bang with Konami. Konami is going to tell you the numbers matter. The dollars matter. And me personally, I would agree with Konami if I stuck with the big boys instead of the little fish in the pond. And there's no disrespect to Arcade One Up, but even though they sold 4 million cabinets, but they still have tons of inventory out there that haven't sold. And like, again, everybody would rather want these cabs where they can download these cabs online, which I think that'll be a bad thing for them, because what's the point of having coin ops? coin apps do all that. And to me, I feel like just downloading games into the cabinet is the worst way of longevity for Arcade One Up. I would rather have an at games cabinet, personally, bigger screen, better joysticks. Even a 4-player and a quad play is way better than anything Arcade One Up could put out. The only thing Arcade One Up is really known for is the nostalgia of how the cab looks. And my thing is, when you're building an arcade, you're building an arcade. You're not building a multi-cab with Arcade One Up. It's not built for that. It's not. I just don't. I don't see the longevity of building a multi-cab with Arcade One Up. It's not. It's not promoted that way. You need to stick with what works. And my thing is the nostalgia of the cab, the limited games that you put on it, and make all the games make sense. But Arcade One Up has to understand that this is where it's at. And getting back to Cyrus needs to speak up and come on a show and basically say something. I'm calling him out. I'm calling him on blast. Like, you bitch-ass motherfucker, you need to come and say what you need to say and basically say, and I don't care if you use my name and shame me or whatever. It is what it is. But my thing is, if you're running this company, you need to make sure that the company is in a good place, that the company is going in the right direction. There are new titles coming right now, and this is where our direction at. You need to have a plan. Right now, no roadmap, no plan. You're losing customers every day. You're losing retailers every day. What is going on? This is when the transparency is at the most wanted, is most wanted right now. And right now, we don't see none of that. I feel for the community. I do. I am part of this community. I would rather see Arcade One Up do really well. I want to continue to support them. But where's the info at? I'm at work. It's like being at work and not knowing what to do. And this company is either going in or out of business and we don't know what's going on. They have to speak. And Arcade One Up, you have to speak right now. If Cyrus is the man at the table, he has to speak. He needs to come with some direction. So right now, I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I appreciate everyone coming out and checking out my podcast. Checking me out. I'm not here to shame none of our podcasts, my brother in this podcast community. It's not directly to you. I'm telling you right now, I'm not here for the drama for y'all. It's not y'all doing what y'all supposed to do. I want to see more content. I want to be more excited about what cabs are coming out, what info is coming out. I want to see the excitement. I want to see the Facebook fan pages blow up. I want to see TikTok blow up. I want to see IG blow up. I want to see Twitter blow up. I want to see we're having multiple debates on what's coming, what is being said, what games is being added. I'm tired of seeing the same titles being run to death. I'm tired of seeing the same games listed to these legacies. I'm tired of seeing we're not taking chances on bringing out new titles, pushing the chipset to the further limit. We should have had Daytona. Personally, I think we should have had Daytona did last year. Fast and Furious should have never been in play. It should have been Daytona. For us not to have pole position, to not having Qbert, to not having a lot of games like I saw in the arcade way back in the day. It's not even being showed up. Like, where are we at with all this? Like, personally, I feel we're led astray, hoodwink, that we're made promises that are no longer going to be kept anymore. And right now, I want to see what the answer is going forward. Maybe my voice is not going to be loud enough, but I hope it does. I hope it just wakes a sleeping monster up, because I'm ready. I'm a big man. I'm a man with a rock too. So, but I'm gonna end my podcast. I thank Super Fat Hobby for coming out. All the people that came and checked out the podcast. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the community. I hope everybody have a great year. Hopefully the whole K community will move forward in a great direction, and hopefully this will change some of the narrative that's going on. So I'm gonna leave it as that. So it's your boy Gotham, aka GCA, with another banger. And I'll see you when I see you. Peace.